Hello, everybody. This is David Dulany, founder and CEO of Tenbound, welcoming you to the AI in Sales Tech virtual conference, the spring conference for Tenbound. Really focusing today on the new, exciting, cutting edge tools that are utilizing AI in the sales technology world and which ones can help you and how to look at the overall development of these tools to be able to help you drive more pipeline and revenue in these challenging times that we're living in right now. We're so excited about the content. We have some of the top experts in this field talking about the tools that they've developed and how they see these potentially working to help you to ultimately do what we need to do, which is sell more, and especially right now in this environment. So thank you for joining, and definitely take a moment, introduce yourself in the comments, network in the virtual platform, get to know each other. I feel like for folks that have been in the Tenbound, family for many years, either through our live events that we do here in San Francisco or on the virtual conferences that we've been doing the last couple of years, I've made a tremendous amount of great connections, friends, and colleagues from the conferences that we bring together. So definitely take a moment to introduce yourself and get to know each other, hear of the other practitioners that are in the conference. If you're not familiar with the work that we do at Tenbound, we've worked with hundreds of SDR teams and inside sales teams over the years on their people, their processes, and especially in the last couple of years on their tech stacks, and helping them really ultimately to drive more pipeline and revenue by focusing on the skill development of the people, the playbooks that they need for their processes, working really hands-on, and more being able to track the top sales technology tools and understand this landscape and how it might either help or do you really need this sales technology tool, and giving that advice on how to implement that properly. So if you need any help, support, advice in this area, give me a call. We're happy to help and hopefully really crush it this year, as I mentioned a couple of times, in this tough environment that we're in. Especially on the sales technology side, we've seen such an explosion, and even this map is from, now it's getting on over a year old. A lot of changes have happened. There's so many sales technology tools that are out there to support you. How do you know what's the right tool for you and for your current situation? Since everyone's in a different industry, they're calling on different clients, they have different environments. How do you make sense of the available tools that are out there and what's worth implementing and is not right for you? We've really been making a lot of progress in trying to understand this whole landscape, and we actually redesigned the Tenbound website to give you the tools to be able to make better selections and to find what's right for you. And so one of the things that's available now on the Tenbound website, if you're looking for sales technology or you're trying to stack rank and decide which one would be right for you, you can actually leave reviews for the sales technology tools that you've used. And we really want to build trust and accuracy in those reviews. So it's super focused on sales technology and not 100 different types of software. And we want your feedback. So while I have you, if you get a chance, log in, leave a review for your favorite or your least favorite sales technology, take a screenshot, and then email it to me at david@tenbound.com. I'll give you a free year of Tenbound Plus, which is our online self-paced training modules for sales development, and community. So that's my offer. For everyone that's listening, I need your advice on these tech tools, and let me know what you think of them, and we'll make this more valuable for people looking for sales technology. So what are we talking about today? There's been this explosion of AI in sales technology, obviously, and everyone's talking about how do I apply AI solutions to drive more pipeline and revenue, essentially. And we don't necessarily care as much about the technology, but how can you help me to drive more pipeline and more revenue today in this environment? And is AI the answer? And it's sort of, you think of that like Gartner hype cycle where and if you're not familiar with that, there's a lot of hype, and then it kind of goes into the reality section, and then it levels off into what it can actually do. And AI for sales technology, I think everyone on the call realizes is in the height of expectations right now about how it can solve all of our problems, and maybe it can, in a few years. But right now, how do we actually utilize it in this environment to achieve our goals? And I wanted to give sort of a framework for how we look at it with clients at Tenbound, and hopefully this will save you some time, some headaches, and some money in applying this to the existing tech stack that you might already have. And number one thing to think about is no tool is going to just solve all of your problems. And I think everybody who follows this and is interested in AI and sales technology realizes that. If you don't, I'll throw a bucket of water at you. There's the silver bullet syndrome, and it's come out as long as I've been tracking this, which is a very long time, where if we just have an online, CRM that everybody can share and it's not in our office, that's going to solve all of our sales problems. Now I have a dashboard. That's going to make everything better. Now I can plug in, APIs and bring in different tools. That's going to make everything better. It doesn't really. So, don't believe the hype. I've seen this a lot out there in the marketing of these tools where it's like, hey, I'm Ava or Ada or something like that. I'm your AI SDR and I can do everything for you. Just plug it in and she's good to go. You never have to worry about it again. And maybe that's true. I would just look at the hype and the marketing with a skeptical eye and really make sure. I'll give you a framework to think about, is this something that could potentially help? So I'm going to take it way back, old school, in Clay Christensen's jobs to be done theory, and it's proved out over the years in how to think about implementation of technology and breaking it down. And this is harder work that takes a little bit more time and a little bit more effort in order to get right, but it saves you a ton of time and effort on trying to plug in, that whole market map of tech tools, and then realize that, hey, we've got all these different tech tools and they don't talk to each other. They're not really utilized. My sales reps are not utilizing them. Think of it in a way as jobs to be done. And what do I mean by jobs to be done? Overall implementation, identify the jobs to be done, map it out, analyze it, identify gaps, apply targeted AI solutions, and then remove things that you've identified that don't work. So that's your screenshot. That's your takeaway from this talk, and that's the hard work that is, I don't want to say boring, but not necessarily as fun and exciting as hiring Ava, the AI sales tech that's going to do everything for you. So let's think about what jobs to be done. So number one is inside sales or an SDR, individual contributor. What are their jobs to be done? And you can literally sit down with your SDR or your inside salesperson and realize that there's a ton of repetitious activity that's happening every day. And the great example is you're taking data from spreadsheet A and putting it into spreadsheet B, or something that you're doing that's cutting and pasting and finding and searching, looking for contact information. These repetitive, mind-numbing things that we do, and I still do on a daily basis. And running this company for 7 years, there's some of these jobs to be done within my job that could be potentially a bottleneck of time that could be up leveled to more interesting and valuable jobs. And so, thing number one, map out what is the jobs to be done for the SDR. Number two, the sales manager, hiring people, onboarding, training, making decisions based on data, performance management, strategic planning. If you lay those out and analyze each of those steps, and hardly anybody's ever doing this. Everybody always ignores sales managers for some reason, unless they're not making their number. Then they get on a PIP or something like that. But what support do they need, and where are there gaps in their process? Is there potentially a strategic AI that could potentially help with running their job faster, better, and more successfully? Finally, with sales executives, there's a ton. The main thing that they have to do is walk in and justify their existence, to their boss, the CEO, or the board, and say, here's how much pipeline that we have, and here's the number that I'm going to deliver at the end of each week. And within that, if you double click on it, there's a million different things to do. If you ever look at a senior sales executive's calendar, they're busy all day, coaching, training, working with people, working with their team. There's got to be some slack in the system. There's got to be some gaps that you could potentially identify that right now AI is starting to develop. And by the way, if you're a sales technology company and you're looking for products to develop, here's a hint, especially with sales executives. Are there pieces of the puzzle in their jobs to be done that could potentially be automated? Could it be replaced? Are there things that they hate doing that could potentially be replaced by an AI? And so you see this evolution happening right before our eyes of sales technology, where first it was like the basis for everything was clean data and contact data. And you saw some of the biggest players in the sales technology space come up because they had way better data than just downloading a spreadsheet. Then, concurrently, you have online CRMs like Salesforce, HubSpot, etc., all these different tools that could potentially help with speeding up the sales process and mapping along with the jobs to be done of individual contributors and sales managers. Then you have the API revolution, where now I don't need to just stay all within one closed platform and hope that they develop tools additionally that can help me out, or I have to go through their app store. I'm not talking about any particular company, but I can get out of that ecosystem through strategic use of APIs. And that created this sort of Frankenstack phenomenon that we have right now, where we see it going is we take all that data into the machine learning potentialities of large language models, and out comes clarity and focus for each level of the different parts of your sales team, which is your SDRs can come in and they know every day that they're going to be calling on the right people, they're going to be following the right process, they're going to be getting the training and development that they need, and they're not wasting a bunch of time doing manual data entry and repetitive activity. On the other extreme is the sales executive who knows through the clarity that they're getting from the AI that they have put in, that they're doing the right things at the right time, and they're not wasting time on unproductive activities that's not going to move the number. Now they have to go into the board and report a smaller pipeline and revenue number. So for sales technology, what you need to understand is most of the sales process that takes place before companies even learn about you, and they need to have all the information about your solution before they interact. And sorry, this is a remote environment. We have sort of a zoo here, if you will, of animals, and one of them got in, so he's back in his little spot. So for sales technologies, how do I make this applicable to the problems that I'm trying to solve? What is your AI strategy as a sales technology firm, or at least what's your API strategy? And how can you interweave your product with other products that are out there to make sure that you're climbing the sales technology pyramid? And then what is going to be your next solution to go from a lot of different windows that are open, a lot of different tabs, a lot of different tools that don't necessarily play well together, to clarity and focus based on the jobs to be done of salespeople, middle managers, and executives. So that's really how sales technology companies need to start thinking about it. And if you need some help, if you would like to strategize, the rest of your 2024, I have a whole garage full of books, especially mine with Kyle over on the right. And I'd be happy to send you this bundle. Just DM me on LinkedIn and let me know if you'd like the book bundle, and then let me know where you are. If you're in the US, I can usually cover shipping, but if you're in some country outside, I might have to just give you a year of Tenbound Plus because it becomes really expensive. But you can get your hands on these and really become an expert in it. Get in touch with me. Let's talk. Let's figure out the rest of your plan for this year. And I'm just so excited for the rest of the conference. So thanks for jumping in, and hopefully gave you a little bit something to think about with your AI strategy.